Hey y'all, what's up? What's going on? So we are talking about the Baddies South, all right? And this season, this is, I guess they calling it season 2, so I'm assuming it sounds like it's a continuation of what they did before, but first episode already starting off crazy. So we have, as far as the people that was introduced for the season, we have Christina. She was supposed to come back, but she didn't end up coming back because she missed the bus. We had Bree. Who else we had? I vaguely remember her. Like, I kind of remember her, but like a distant type of memory. But I remember her talking, but I don't remember her actual actions while she was on there. You know what I mean? We had a girl named Persuasion. She looked mad familiar too. I think that she was a baddie as well, from like a bad girl from back in the days. But that's another one that's kind of like vague, you know what I'm saying? She's 32. She's from Dallas, Texas, and she's also a stripper. You got Natalie was talking to her husband about like all the different girls and kind of introducing them. Who else we had? We had a girl named Ann. She's new to everything. And with Ann, she just seems more like a clout chaser. Like, she does anything for money is pretty much what she said. So she does all these like weird stuff, puts things in her mouth, opens busts wide open, you know what I'm saying? Like, does all of those things for a little, does something strange for a little bit of change, you know what I mean? Like, she do she pretty much said it herself. So that's just what she do. And she ain't ashamed to say it. We also got Slim from Real Chance of Love. Y'all remember her. And then we have Rollie Pollie Snack Meals. That wasn't that her whole name that she had, but for sure they call it Rollie Pollie. So both of them was from Real Chance. And then we have Blueface girlfriend, as they say, and she's 21 years old, and her name is Krishan Rock. So that's pretty much the whole entire squad that they got. I don't think I forgot anyone. And of course, Natalie is one of them as well. So yeah, they was all in a Sprinter to go to where they had to go, which was to ATL was the first stop. And they're going to be doing kind of like a tour thing. They got this beautiful looking bus that they're going to be on, which is pretty cool. And so Persuasion in the beginning, like, she wasn't really feeling Krishan. She's starting to feel a little uneasy about her. So yeah, I'm like, when I was hearing her talk about her, I'm like, I don't know. We're gonna have to see how this goes, because Krishan, she has this kind of complex where it's like you can't really tell her anything. I forgot what that's called, but it is a specific type of, I believe it might be a certain personality, if I remember correctly, because like I told you guys, like, I am working on being officially a mental health coach. So it's a lot of things that I see that I'm like, like, just by hearing her say certain things, I'm like, yeah, this is what it sounds like. But it looks like she has other stuff going on as well. And that's one of the things that's a concern in the house for for Persuasion, as well as for Jeyla. Oh, did I mention Jayla earlier? If I ain't mentioned Jayla, she was close with Natalie. She was on another show with her, the Conversation, and she wears white all the time. That's how I always remember her, is that she always wears white all the time. So while they was on the bus, Anne feels like it's a good time to go and ask Bree if she's an escort. And everybody kind of was like, oh, you know, kind of like, wow, you're calling her out on TV. Like, is that something she said she wants the whole wide world to know? You know, like, that's not something that you might be necessarily broadcasting. That might be something you're doing to make your extra money or whatever it is that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And she's just out here just saying all that. And Bree didn't really say much, but Anne was just like, well, you know, they kind of called out Anne, like, why are you saying that or whatever? Why are you calling out, putting her business out there? I think it was Krishan that had said that. And she was like, you know, maybe she didn't want anybody to know. Like, why are you putting her business out there? And she was just like, well, if you're going to do it, you need to do it and be proud. Like, she was like, I do things. She was like, I bust it wide open. I do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it shouldn't be a big deal, but that's you. You can't expect everybody to live in their truth like you do. This may be something that she's doing on the backside, and maybe she doesn't want her mom or whoever to know what's going on, you know? Just because people on social media know or whoever knows doesn't mean that her family knows or whoever, you know what I'm saying? So it's like now she's gonna be labeled as an escort, you know, somebody who's doing what she's doing for money. And now it's like she kind of just has to defend that. So, you know, it did put her in an awkward place, and I feel like Bree didn't really say too much, and some of the girls kind of saw that. Like, she kind of stayed a little quiet, so it kind of made her look like she was a little soft at that moment, because she wasn't really saying anything at all. So they did get to the first stop, and they're only staying there for like one night. It's in Atlanta, and when they went to go look at their rooms, some of the girls had bunk beds. So you already know these girls is like prissy, and they ain't about that because they done elevated. Some of them have real nice houses. Some of them live in mansions with rappers. You know, they're accustomed to a certain way of living. So seeing that is like, are you kidding me? Like, what are we in the penitentiary? Like, this has got to be a joke, you know? And the only people that really had a nice room were Natalie had like a whole entire area for herself. She had like a whole cottage. Like, yo, she literally had like the whole West Wing to herself. It was like she was living in her own place. I mean, it literally had everything that you could need in order to survive, except the kitchen up where in her little area over there. It had like a little couch area, a jacuzzi, you know, just everything you need. While everybody else, the commoners, just had like a little bunk bed. So it was like, wait a minute. So some of them was feeling some type of way, but I think like they adjusted, you know, with time. But Christian wasn't having it. She was trying to stay in the room with Natalie, and you know, Natalie was kind of babying her a little bit, keeps on saying that, oh, she's 21. And when her and Jayla and Persuasion were talking, Persuasion had mentioned, like, I don't really feel safe around her. You know, she showed us some of the things that she was doing at the airport, going through the turnabout thing where you get your what you call it things, where you get your luggage. She was going on that, playing around like she was 12. She was also pulling on the alarm, which can get you like arrested and stuff like that. Like, she was doing way too much. So she's seeing that, they're like, you know, she needs like a mental evaluation or something, because we need to know if she's going to like get off the handles, because it seems a little unpredictable, and I don't really like that. You know, they wasn't feeling too right about that. Jayla's like, I ain't never scared of nobody, but I also want to know if I got to be prepared, you know, and there should be some type of psych evaluation or something done, which I do agree, because it's like, you're seeing these weird things that she's doing, which doesn't seem like normal behavior. Like, yeah, getting upset, okay, they all have anger issues, but like the other extra stuff is just a little odd. And then the fact, I guess, that she's like, they claim that she's really dirty, and she was hearing all that, and she was starting to get upset, because she's like, you know, they talking about me and they doing this for the camera, trying to make me look crazy in front of the world. They not saying it to me off camera or whatever. They wait until the cameras come up. So she was getting really pissed about that. Natalie ends up giving her whole entire space in the basement, so she was good, you know what I'm saying? You know, she got her way, and she's like, you know, because she knows I'm important. So it's like, you kind of feed in her ego. She already said, like, I don't want anybody telling me anything, and I feel like she just pretty much like, she's not going to listen to anything anybody says. Like, right now, she's trying to like stay a little bit calm when Natalie tells her specific things, but you can see the attitude. You can see her kind of look at her with the demon eyes, you know, and you can see that she's kind of getting like a little bit heated, but she's trying to like maintain, she's trying to hold in the beast, you know. So I don't know, we're gonna see how that goes. Maybe she might be a little respectful because it's like your job, and that's kind of like your boss. So you beat up your boss, then you might not have a job, you know. But at the end of the day, you already know what you signed up for as well. So Natalie can't be mad if the girl do attack her, unless that's a clause in their contract or something like that. But all the producers later on had went to go see Natalie and talk to her. I'm like, oh boy, what's gonna go down now? But luckily, the thing that they wanted to talk to her is about what's this girl named Sarah. Sarah had came through and wanted to actually have a conversation with her. So she thought it was a joke. They was dead serious. They're like, you know, maybe y'all could rekindle things. Y'all can mend your relationship, because they used to be really close before. So I don't know. It seems like they were just kind of like, you know, it seems like she wasn't really sure if that was something that she wanted to do. But then they kind of, you know, they said, you know, no fighting, just you guys talking on camera. So she looks like she's gonna be open to it. We did see clips that's gonna come up, and it looked like it's not gonna be pretty. So it's kind of like they set that girl up. I don't really know the backstory as far as like how they got to this place. I was hearing her say something about a funeral, and then I also heard Sarah. So if you guys know about this funeral thing, definitely make sure you comment down below. Also comment for a chance to get a shout out in my future videos. And also make sure if you're not yet part of the family that you go ahead and hit subscribe so that you don't miss any of my videos, boo, because we about to be talking about this show for reals. But yeah, so following that, all the ladies, they go and they have a little toast in the kitchen. You know, vibes is right. They all good. But they also want to lay out their cards at the table and just kind of get things out in the open because they about to be on the road for dumb long, all in this little confined space. So they're like, you know, while we have all this space where we can breathe, we can have a little room, let's say what we got to say. So, and she was like, she didn't want to be called a newbie because Natalie was like, you know, the newbie. She was like, no, let's not do that. I'm not a newbie. You're new to the Bad Girls Club alum or little brand or whatever you want to call it. You're not really somebody that anybody knows unless you're on social media or if you're on, let's say, Pornhub. Well, maybe not Pornhub, maybe, I don't know, or you know, like OnlyFans or something like that. So it kind of makes sense what she's saying about the whole newbie thing. I don't know. Yeah, I could tell me, maybe I'm wrong, but that it kind of sounds like it is, you know. But Rollie calls Brie out and she was like, you know, you kind of let Ann tell your story, like why you did that. And she was like, no, it's just a time and place for everything. And everybody's like, well, time and place for everything. When's the time, when's the place? Because I mean, there was no reason why you couldn't like address her at that moment. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody, like for me, unless it's like something where we're in church or something where I really feel like I have to restrain myself for some specific reason. Like if it's something that's really bothering me, I've gotten to a place where I'm not, I mean, I've been that way for quite some time. But I've gotten to a place where it's like, I physically cannot hold it in. Like, I'm going to have to let it out. You know, otherwise it's going to haunt me and keep on playing in my head over and over again. And I'm going to be like, yo, why didn't you do it the certain way that you were supposed? Like, why did you let somebody talk to you crazy? You know what I'm saying? Like, why did you let that rock? Because now she's going to think she can always pick on you and talk to you any type of way. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to always be that person that she's going to think she can, like, put out there or that you're soft. And that's what they was trying to tell her, but she was kind of going around in words, and Natalie kind of had to break it down for her. Like, this is what she's saying. She's trying to say that you don't let people do this to you. You don't let people tell your story for you. You don't let people call you out. And if they do, you address them and let them know, like, nah, you're not going to do that. Like, you check them at that moment. You don't wait 5 days, 20 days until, you know, like, no, you do it when it needs to be done, which is immediately, you know what I'm saying? So that's what they was trying to tell her. She was like, oh, because it made me look soft. Like, yes, it made you look soft. It made you look real soft. You're supposed to be like one of these chicks that's not going to play that, and you're getting played, you know what I mean? Like, and you're, what is she, the only Caucasian person that's on the show? So it's like, no, because what's her name is too, right? Slim. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're the minorities in this particular show, this franchise. So it's like you making it look like you just letting everybody punk you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they was trying to kind of portray. I feel like Rollie Pollie was kind of the shit starter a little bit, like sprinkling in a little bit of shit dust, you know? Because then Jayla, she was like, oh, if anyone has a problem, let's just put it out here right now. And then Rollie said something about like, oh, who had a problem with Christian saying that she was dirty. And then now here goes Christian all hyped up, you know, she's all whatever lean or whatever she got in that little blue face cup that she had. She just got all amped up and she was like, yeah, because who was over here saying, you know, that I was dirty and stuff like that, doing all this for the cameras. She was like, what you saying now? And then what's her name? Persuasion is like, no, what we were saying is that you don't clean up after yourself, and, you know, just kind of saying her piece while she's like, you know, just chill, sitting on the kitchen counter, just chilling, you know, just kind of laid back, like just guard down, chill mode. All of a sudden, what? Like, just, yo, she got a crazy two-piece from this girl, like, landed right in her face, mocked this girl, like, brought her into the freaking thing, like, oh, I'm gonna clean you up, and literally put her in the sink. I'm like, yo, when somebody says that they gonna clean you up and they literally clean you up, like, all she had to do was turn the water on and it would have been a wrap. It was real bad. So yeah, and this is the unpredictable stuff that she was talking about, but you also know, like, this is the stuff that you kind of have to expect. But that was real unexpected, because it was like, it just came out of nowhere, like, for real. It's like she was talking, just went whop, you know, just got her with the, you know, and you heard it when it contacted too. So I know she's hurting right now, and she was like still coming at her. The security guards came real quick, but that girl is going to definitely be trouble. Like, she going viral. She not even trying. Like, I feel like this is just her. I mean, we've heard other crazy stories about her stealing and all this stuff, getting arrested. So she's definitely on some different timing. Like, so they gonna really have to, like, I don't know. Whew. She gonna be a fiery little storm. I know I'm gonna be talking about her every episode. But that's pretty much the episode, you guys. Once again, let me know what you thought about this. If you're not yet part of the family, go ahead, subscribe, share this video, like this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.